90 with the drum attack. You a shit talker, we got drum attack.
What is up, Nice for Gang NG Elite here, as you already know. And first of all, if you're new to my channel and you're new around town, I'd like for you to go and click that bottom right corner and subscribe up now. Also, I'd like for you to click the bell so you never miss one of my new videos. But what is up, guys? It has been quite a minute since I've uploaded. You know, personally, the reason that was just mainly because of my birthday being beforehand and after. So I decided to give it a little time to myself. I did turn 21, so you guys already know what I did. You know, already was turning up. But nonetheless, guys, time to show you guys why you're here. You're obviously here to see the 2019 Ice Loadout tank and DPS. This will be the first time I did one of these videos with combined roles. I usually do them separately, but I decided why not. So I'm actually in the tank role right now, and that is because the tank role is going to be a lot easier. So first of all, let's go straight into stat points. And what you want to go is for focus hybrid, obviously. Then you put 10 in the first two, just for the critical healing chance, which actually, you know, that's only to unlock the further perks down here at the bottom, because these two aren't too much useful. And here we go. And you can put summon restoration, not as much as you would put into health, and then you wouldn't put as much into health as you would into dominance, because dominance, dealing with any tank role, is the most important. You know, you can always have to grab that aggro and all those ads and all that good stuff. So now we're gonna jump straight into the loadout, because you don't really need any icon. Well, actually, that's a lie. Save one skill point for hard light shield, because that comes in clutch. And now we're just gonna jump straight into the loadout. Okay, with the first move, you have Resonating Gale, which is the move that sort of knocks down the ads and then pulls them to the center of, you know, the epicenter of the move, bringing a little more aggro in. So that's your secondary aggro pull, I guess you could say. That's your multi-target pull. And then you've got your Inescapable Storm, which could be singular. You know, if there's a lot of ads out there, you can grab a lot as well. And that's priority your pull. So you can see right there. And then your third move is going to be not so much, it's a shield, but it's technically not a shield to me, because if you're fighting a boss and they use a move, it'll go straight through it. You know, it'll easily eat that. So but this is primarily what you will use against ads. You know, these two right here, which is Winter Ward, which is another shield, a stronger shield similar to Hard Light Shield, except, you know, it's on that same level. But, you know, for a little, the cooldown is obviously way quicker. You can see that there. And I'll obviously use the loadout just to get you a little sneak peek of what you know you need to do in what order and all that good stuff. And you guys know me, I usually go left to right loadout, so it's not too hard, not too complicated, and a lot easier. And your last but not least, your supercharger is going to be Ice Elemental. I know a lot of people actually don't use this, but I will show you why it actually comes in pretty decently clutch. Because as you read in there, you'll heal while you turn to a big Ice Elemental. So as you see here, pulls him into the epicenter, also called his Frostbite. And look at this guy just taking whatever he can. Shazam guy, dude, whatever your name is. Then you got Inescapable Pull, which pulls. This is somewhat of a shield, but is you know, bosses will eat straight through this shield. And then I like to use, pretty much I like to kind of class those two together, because the first original shield comes back so fast that, you know, I'll just fight around for a little bit while blocking. Boom, use this, wait for the other one to recover, and as they recover, I'll just use similar to these two against ads. And then, you know, you've got the Hard Light Shield, which also comes back as the strongest of the shields. And then with the Ice Elemental, which I'll show you right now, you know, it creates a healing, well, it makes it so you can heal a lot. And pretty much what I like to do in here is I use this taunt, which is pretty much this little ice ball, and I'll just keep spamming that if need be. If not, then I don't worry about that at all. But if there are a lot of ads in a boss, I'll just spam this, you know. And while you're doing that, keep in mind when you block, it grants an incredible amount of shield, and it gives you a lot of health back. And now we'll just jump into the mods we have here on here. So in your hands or your weapons, obviously, you know, with any tank, that would be the absorption adapter, you know, which weapon attacks have a chance to activate a shield, which gives you about 75% damage equal to up to 30 of your health. So that's good. And in the headpiece, I have supercharged Ice Elemental 3, to make sure I can use Ice Elemental a lot more. Fortified Assault, increased defense. Your back will be accelerated Winter Ward, which is the shield, reducing the cooldown on it. For the chest piece, I just increased my health by 5% with the Hardy. In my legs, I had the Restorative Frost Slam. Now, this was just random because I don't actually have any of these moves on my tank loadout, so it actually kind of sucks for the legs. For the feet, Deadly Block. Make sure you get some form of damage in them while I'm blocking. Hands will give the regenerative shielding. Heal yourself whenever using a shield power, which comes in really clutch because you have 3 shields on the loadout alone. And not only that, when you turn to the Ice Elemental, that counts as a shield as well, so you get double the healing. Plus, with that Gemini, which I didn't even talk about, in the artifacts, you want to have Manacles of Force. That is the new clutch artifact. Eye of Gemini helps very well because when you turn into that supercharged Ice Elemental, it gives you that supercharged field that for as long as it lasts, it keeps healing and healing and healing, and whoever else is in it. So for those guys who like to have rage, melee loadouts and stuff like that, they won't die as easily because you'll be healing them just a little teensy bit. But pretty much, guys, that sums it up for the tank loadout. Now we're just gonna I want to keep you guys knowing that this loadout is not mine, so I do not take credit for this at all. I actually went over to a fellow how should I say, a fellow YouTuber named Obsidian Chill. Everybody knows that guy, and his loadouts are just great. And because his video was so old, I just wanted to show you guys like how these matched up today. So now that we're jumping into this, I'm gonna start with artifacts with this one, and a lot of his artifacts and stuff are different as well. So I'm just gonna show you guys how mine match up with the artifacts I have, and you can decide whether which one is better. I know he likes to use a singular target loadout. I don't really use that. I use a more of a long range, make it so I can never die type of thing. Whereas singular is not so great on a whole bunch of ads and stuff like that. But anyway, into the weapon. Blast adapter, for any of that. I have the supercharged freeze ray, which I actually haven't even changed to supercharged blizzard yet, so it should actually be supercharged blizzard, guys. And in the neck piece you will have escalating might, back piece berserker, chest piece extended supercharge, so you can use supercharge more obviously. Restorative wintry tempest. And then we'll go over to the legs, which will be explosive block to make sure that you don't get hit by those ads. If they charge at you and you have the Sharingan and you block and boom, they just get knocked away. And then into the hands, max damage. Now stepping into the loadout, when it comes to iconic powers, you actually don't need any part of that. And then you want to go into focus super powered, get as much critical attack chance damage as you can. And precision, you only put it in there to add up a little bit into the thing here, and you probably hear my dog in the background. And then you want to put the rest of those into might and power. And as you see, I don't have a crazy amount of skill points, but ice, as everybody knows, is a pretty OP power, so it kind of evens out a little bit. And it might go along with the myth that everybody thinks that you don't need skill points anymore. Now, artifacts, which I also almost forgot to mention, you want to run Tetrahedron of Urgrun just because it gives you that might that you need, that extra might that's a percent of your health. And then you want to go into Gemini because you will be using your supercharge quite a bit. The supercharge actually helps really a lot. And Then you want to run the Grimorian Verum, which is questionably the best DPS artifact out right now. So I'm just gonna do a basic rotation of the loadout. You don't always have to actually. Alright, so guys, jumping into the loadout, we in the first spot I had Frost Blast, second Wintry Tempest, which is the AoE move. The third will be your pet Snow Devil. Fourth will be the Ice Boulder Strike. Fifth will be the Arctic Gust. And the last one will be Blizzard, which is questionable among many DPSs. A lot of people use different stuff, and it can work in various ways. You know, I've only used this because Blizzard is a pretty good DPS, and it also helps with the make the Frost Blast incredibly stronger. And I will show you how to time that just right so that your Frost Blast gets incredibly massive damage. Now, I will say this. Frost Blast does not have to be in the first plot simply because Frostbite is your strongest move. So if you want to, you can start with Wintry Tempest, because Wintry Tempest starts that Frostbite sort of stack, and then you know the Snow Devil and the Ice Boulder Strike and the Arctic Gust just adds on and stacks, and then when you use Frost Blast one more time, it makes it a lot stronger. Now I'm just gonna go somewhere else because these people are just like, there's like 6 training dummies and they're just like all over mine for some weird reason. And pretty much gonna do one roll of the loadout. What I like to do is I like to start it off with Frost Blast, just because Frost Blast, see, it does pretty good damage either way. I only do that to you know, sort of just get that one first hit in other than everybody else. You know, I usually charge it up before I see the enemies and then boom, hit them with it. But anyway, as you can see here, I'm just gonna run this loadout really quick, and then I'm gonna slow it down for you guys. So, Wintry Tempest, Frost Devil. Then you want to use that fourth move. And I usually stand still with this loadout, but you are incredibly mobile with this loadout. And as you can see here, because my AoE and my Frost Devil haven't really loaded up again, I simply use that move, which does pretty good amount of damage, and then I'll usually fire off the Arctic Gust. And what you'll notice is when I do this is the little time that you have in between. If say one of those are not loaded up, like what you'll see here in a second, is Frost Blast won't be loaded up until I use this again, and then you know you can just cap it back into it, and it just, as you can see, it does incredible damage. You know, and I've only rolled the loadout about 3 times over. And when it comes to Blizzard, I don't have it loaded up, so I can actually tell you. I'll just go into it. You know, I'll just start the loadout from here. So what you want to do is, you want to obviously use that move. Then you're gonna use your Wintry Tempest, your pet, and this in between, this time right here, is when you'll use your Blizzard. And then when you use your Blizzard, the Gemini's Eye will create a sort of AoE effect of orange. Once you do that, you want to launch this move while within this proximity, and with that, and then sorta you just clap back into Frost Blast. And guys, this does incredible damage. I will have gameplay after each of these for my tank and my DPS separately, just so you guys can see how good this is. And I will have you a little warning, or not a warning, I should say. I'll give you a little heads up that Frost Blast does over 100k in damage. So it's incredibly powerful, guys. See, as you can see there, just with the crit alone, it's incredibly powerful. But without further ado today, guys, I know this video is going to be pretty decently long, so I'm not going to hold you any longer. If you guys could please hit the subscribe button, like, comment. Also, I'd like to mention thank you all for the 12,000 views, the 80+ likes, and the great sum of comments that were left under my recent video. And see you guys later. Just gonna wave one more time. Peace out.
Use those flames of Van Helsing to smite anything he pulls out of his wee bag of tricks.
If you can remove those pockets of shadow with the magical flames, it'll limit his resources.
I am immortal. You cannot end me.
He's using the darkness to heal. Keep him away from the shadows or blast them away with the flames.
I will tear you apart. Father Cain, aid your child now.
Those monsters are made out of pure darkness. Tom atop the leech as well. Use whatever you got to take them down.
Once again, I'd like to really thank you guys for staying in the community and still subscribing to my channel even after being non-active for a second. Boom, there's 1 and 2K crit, I promise you guys. But without further ado, guys, make sure you smash that like button. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit the left for a previous, hit the right for a random video, and I will catch you guys in